If you want to get the top odds every time, bet with TopSport's Same Game Multi. TopSport. Feel the excitement.
Gamble responsibly.
Yippee-yippee-yi, yippee-yi-yi, yippee-yippee-yi, yippee-yi-yi, 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 yippee-yi-yi. Queensland suck, you dogs. Welcome back to another edition of the Same Game Multi podcast. Men of our words, we kept up our end of the bet with our main man, Tristan Merlihan. Unfortunately, the Blues couldn't get the victory in Game 1 of State of Origin, so unfortunately we had to sing that song to open the show. Joining me today, just the one other man, the main man I like to call him, Mr. Matthew Mark Cherry. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. How are you?
Good. Thanks. And our other accomplice, mate, he chickened out, I think. I don't know whether it was the Eels loss to the Bulldogs or the fact that we had to sing Yippee Yippee Yi to start off the show. But he's a no-show, unfortunately.
I think that 30-point margin really hurt him.
I think he's still recovering, to be honest. I've been hearing he's been getting a fair bit of shit put on him as well.
Actually, one of the regular listeners, Mr. Joel Hogan, actually sent me a personal message yesterday.
DM, slid into your DMs.
He did, very sneaky, and told me to make sure I sledged the hell out of him. That could be another reason why he's not here too, because he knew he was going to cop it.
We've hung his hat there over his microphone, and hopefully he should be back next week. I'm sure he will. So
nearly had to put the flag at half-mast, didn't we?
I'll tell you what. It was a disgraceful display from the Eels. It cost me a full round. Also knocked me out of the knockout comp as well. So not very happy with the Eels and or Mr. Burton. Anyway, we'll press on. Not to worry. We've got a short show this week. Just Chez and I, as we mentioned. Also, our main man Tristan won't be joining us this week, unfortunately, because of a conflict of schedules. So we're going to press on though with our TopSport top that moment of the round. Mr. Cherry, I'll throw to you as you're the only one here. What was your top that moment of the round, mate?
Mate, mine was the whole Brisbane versus Canberra game. I thought that was absolutely sensational. That had me on the edge of the seat, white knuckles, hanging on the armchair, looking at the multi. But
knuckle fever.
That Tarpanay, my God, he's playing some good footy, isn't he? And then with Brisbane, I know they lost their last man towards right at the end of the game, and they didn't have any bench players left. But they played pretty much most of the game with only 2 bench players.
Yeah, they did well to hold on, that's for
really,
sure.
really well, yeah.
Mine was Dallin with Tenny's Lesniak's try in the corner. Some nice acrobatic skills there. You see it nearly every week, nearly every game, just about these days, which is fantastic. But that for me sort of stole the round, I reckon.
I think that would have topped it off if you finished it off with a spinneroonie.
five times. Yeah, it was one of the the good displays for the Warriors and pretty poor performance there as well. So, but anyway, that'll lead into our...
You are off. Don't talk to me. Just go.
Our send-off.
He has been sent off.
Normally throw to Mr. Burton as well, but unfortunately, again, he's not here. So over to you, mate, to kick it off.
No, I don't know if I really have one, apart from the Origin result.
I do. I've just mentioned before.
I had a pretty good weekend, actually. I was disappointed the Chooks didn't get over, but they had a pretty good game.
About Felice Kafusi.
Kafusi, yeah, getting off. Yeah, I can rant on about that, but I won't. So I'll take that one, just so I have something.
Just so you got
Mr.
something.
Felice Kafusi.
Mine was Parramatta's performance, as I mentioned off the top of the show, and just there, I think the whole, I don't know if you saw it there, the Mitch Moses when he went to score and got knocked down from behind by Matty Burton, just sort of that showed their intent for the game. I think they didn't show up, they didn't want to be part of it. They thought they were going to get the victory before they actually played the game. And you look at these side, you know, they beat Melbourne and Penrith early in the year. And then they can't get up against the bottom of the table side, which, you know, I understand that it must be hard for them to do that. But honestly, they got to win these games if they want to be there at the back end of the season. So
Dogs been playing pretty good first half footy throughout this year. It's their tail end and the execution of that last half which has been letting them down. But in saying that, they haven't really come up against some top sides yet. Now they have, and they just didn't turn up, did they?
No, definitely didn't. And like I said, cost me Cost me my multi, cost me my full round on the tips, and also the knockout comp. So I am dirty.
Second mortgage, was that on there as well?
Yeah. Wife doesn't know about that one yet. But anyway, not to worry. Not to worry. Nice and refreshing beer there, mate. We may as well jump straight into beer of the week. Thanks to the Whitebull Hotel, great sponsors of the show. As always, drove on through the drive-through bottle shop this afternoon on my way up here to the studio and saw Mr. Hawkeye. And he's fixed you up with something, but we've got a sneaking suspicion we may have had it previously.
Yeah, I don't know. Me and Berto talk about it a lot, so maybe that's why. I might have got confused. We might have had it on a previous show. If we did, it was a long time ago. We have gone through a lot of the the fridges down there at the Whitebull. I actually had a quick beer with Mr. Hawkeye himself last night.
You mentioned that.
He did. It was good to see him again, Mr. Hawk. He's got us the old 4X bitter. And it's pretty fitting for the way we had to start the show too, wasn't it? The old Queensland
True.
But a lot better than the side and a lot better than the gold beer. This one's a full strength compared to the gold. Now, it says bitter, but it's not that too harsh at the back end. Full strength though. Mate, these are good. I remember my old man used to drink these back in the day. They had a bit of a different label back then, 20, 30-something years ago, whatever it was now. These are good. I could drink them anytime, any day, anywhere, any place. 4.5 for me, easy.
4.5.
Yeah.
And what's the lid? What's the lid like for you?
The lids are very easy to get off. And just go.
No one to be whinging
that,
about it.
Come off. No, they don't get the bonus half a point
No,
this
you
week.
don't.
I might have to give him because Birdo's not here. He would have gave him the extra half, so we're going to give it a 5.
5 from the main man, Mr. Cherry. Fantastic. Head on down to the Whitebull and grab yourself a 6-pack or a carton or 2 cartons if you've got a big weekend planned. Great sponsors of the show, as I mentioned off the top, and really appreciate if you do support them as they support us each and every week. We're going to jump straight into some football. No messing around on today's episode. Just Ches and I, my opinion as we go forward, and we're actually lacking 3 multis. Mr. J. Rod Burton hasn't sent his multis in either, so we might scrape together a few multis on the run there as well. But first up, Mr. Cherry, we've got the Dragons up against the Souths. Thursday, 7:50 p.m. here at Wynn Stadium. $2.75 if you like the Dragons. Head-to-head, we've got Souths at $1.47. The line is set at 6.5. Get the Dragons at the plus for $1.85 or the Souths at the minus for $1.95. Both teams not playing great. Souths were all right last week. How do you see this one playing out, mate?
Yeah, Dragons are slowly sneaking back up the table, though, aren't they? They're slowly starting to climb.
Creepy.
Every sort of month, they're sort of jumping up a spot or getting even with whoever's ahead of them. Bit of a coin toss again, this one for me. I don't know. Put me under the pressure. I'm going to have to go with Souths, I think.
Just looking at the team list there, Ravalawa comes back in on the wing, and Ruben, the debutant from last week, he goes out. But I tell you what, if you're looking just from the high shot, you wouldn't even know the difference between the two. Both look very similar, especially when he made the intercept last week and was streaming down the sideline. It just looked like Ravalawa, to be honest. But he drops out there. And just having a look here, Francis Molo's bench as well. And Jack DeBellin, he's moving into prop. And Jaden Seward will start in the back row. Moses Mbai's bench with McCulloch starting at lock. He plays around a bit hook with his side. Maybe that's why they're only creeping into the top 8. Souths are pretty much 1 through to 17 as they were last week, looking at that. So I'll tell you what, another top that moment was a hit on Campbell Graham. Did you see that? I think it was maybe Patrick Herbert just nailed him on his goal line. They'll spread the ball wide on their goal line, and Herbert just nailed him, pushing back into the in goal and forced a drop out. It was a great hit as well, so I do love myself a big hit. This one's my multi.
I'll just quickly say, someone who got any big hits will be number 16 for the Dragons, Mr. Aaron Woods.
Oh, yeah.
He's on the bench again, mate. I don't know.
Running past the play.
I'd be dropping him and putting someone else on.
Giving someone else a start, you reckon?
Oh, yeah.
My multi, I've just got a nice little 3-legger to open up here. I'm going to go over 44.5 total points. Alex Johnson to get across any time, as well as Jack Bird. I'll scroll down looking for a bit of value. Saw Jack Bird there, usually plays a full 80, so good chance of him scoring in the back row out there. $9.94, so a touch under $10. I was pretty happy with that, so hopefully that one might get us across the line to open up the round. We had a pretty good week on the punt last week. I think Birdo got 2 of his 3 multis up. I got my Sharks multi up, which was great, so bit of money filtering into the kitty there for the charities.
And I missed out on 2 games, both by 1 try scorer.
Doesn't sound like you at all, mate. Doesn't sound like you.
No luck. A good punter out of luck.
This game I'm really looking forward to, actually, is Manly up against the Cowboys. Friday, 6 p.m. at Four Pines Park down there at Brookvale. Head-to-head, Manly $2.38 outsiders. Cowboys are the favourites here at $1.60. The line is set at 4.5. Manly at the plus for $1.85. You can get the Cowboys at the minus for $1.95. Cowboys, mate, I'm really enjoying their brand of football. They played really well last week, missing a few of their big names that were rested after Origin, but still played really, really well.
Just noticing that there, they've named Nenai and Cotters back on as well, so that'll be good to see those 2 boys come back.
They're nearly at full strength looking at that, which is fantastic. Obviously, Kyle Felt's still out with that, I think that knee or ankle injury that he picked up a couple of weeks ago, but they're just about at full strength with those guys coming back in, as you just mentioned. Obviously, Helam Lukey did his ACL last week, so he's out, but Luciano, big luscious Leilua, on his way up north.
I seen that last night, going over to the Cowboys himself.
Yeah.
For him, good on him.
Yeah, I think it would be a good move for him to get out of the Tigers.
And I think there's a little rumour going around he won't be the only one not moving to the Cowboys, so to speak, but wanting to leave the West Tigers camp. So that'll be interesting to see what unfolds over the next week or 2 there.
Yeah, definitely. DCE returns at halfback, rested last week. So Schuster shifts back to the bench there, and Benny Travojevic drops out of the side. Manly been playing okay last couple of weeks as well. Cherry Evans come back in, obviously going to strengthen the halves with his kicking game's been really good all year. Hopefully he gets injured and can't play Origin. Sorry, did I say that? We live. We're recording. How do you see this one, mate? Where's your money going? Who's you tipping?
I really like the Manly bench here.
Yeah.
They're really, really strong. But the way that the Cowboys have been playing, mate, like you're saying, they're very enjoyable to watch. They made me eat my words from my start of the year prediction from where they'd come. I thought they might have won maybe a handful of games, and they've surpassed that quite easily. I'm going to lean with the Cowboys here.
Yeah, I'm going Cowboys head-to-head, my multi again. Cowboys head-to-head, the Hammer, Tabuai Fido to get across, as well as Val Holmes, anytime try scorers for both of those. $6.63 if you like that. Both can get across the white stripe. They don't mind scoring a try between them, that's for sure. So. Gosh, we're pressing through the games. This is great. Might have to cancel League Birdo out each and every week. Get home nice and early, cook dinner. Mate, got the next game, Storm up against the Broncos, Friday, 7:55 p.m, Amy Park down there in Melbourne. Storm clear favourites here at $1.17. Broncos, with all those injuries, are outsiders here, $5.10. The line is set fairly high, 15.5. Storm at the minus for $1.90, or you can get the Broncos at the plus, also $1.90. Now, there was talk Papsmere was going to come back for this, but he's picked up the old spicy cough. Just got announced today. So, unfortunately, he won't be playing this game, and that probably rules him out of Origin 2 as well. I would have been picking him on the bench for Origin 2 just to give us a bit of spark in that, 20 minutes into the game or 20 minutes left of the game. Unfortunately, though, he's gone. Isolate for 7 days and all that crap. Broncos, as I mentioned, mate, fair few injuries there. Adam Reynolds is out. Herbie Farnworth's out. Who else got injured late last week?
Corey Pax.
What's his name? The big fella. Payne Harsey, he's nursing another AC injury on his other shoulder, so he'll probably just get needled up. But Staggs does come back in, which is good. Also, Cobbo's in as well, and Kurt Catewell. So they lose a few, but they get a few back in. But just looking at the number 7 there, Tyrone Roberts. Now, he's been a bit of a journeyman in the NRL. And I didn't even realise he's playing at the Broncos, to be honest. But he'll come in and partner Ezra Mam. I know Gamble's out injured still as well as Reynolds. So this will probably be about the 4th or 5th, maybe 5th or 6th halves combination.
What's up with Albert Kelly?
He's done his foot. He fractured his foot.
So
He's gone.
Yeah,
He's gone like for quite a while, I think. And also he tried to pick a fight with Payne Haas. So
that's a bad move.
it's going to be tough here for the Broncos travelling down to Melbourne. Melbourne haven't been playing great though. They only got that scrappy win last week against the Roosters. That's not very convincing. I really, really think that they're missing Pappenhausen there at the back ever since he's been injured.
That Grant Anderson, he was a bit of a smoky too.
Yeah, a couple of tries on debut.
Yeah.
You'll be happy with that. Looking at the side there, though, it's still a good side on paper. Like the 6 through to 13, like they've been around for forever in the Storm system. You got a few in the back line there that are sort of new to the system, but that Marion Sevi, he played really well last week as well.
He got a try too.
Yeah, he did. I don't know. I can't see the Broncos winning, but hopefully they can make it competitive.
Felice Kafusi starting at 11.
Yeah, got
good.
off with his fine. So just on that, like it's been spoken about to death. We're not going to talk too much, but I agree with a lot of the sentiment out there that it shouldn't have been just a fine. It should have been looking at least a game. If they're saying that it was, a premeditated move to injure someone, how can that just be a fine? You know what I mean? It does have to be a game. Whether he was innocent or guilty, again, is irrelevant. But just the whole match review committee, we spoke about it previously, and we don't want to get bogged down. That's not what our show is about. But, yeah, I agree. It should have been looking at least one, if not two matches. The Storm may then not afford it like they did, but it was only $700 extra if they lost.
Yeah. Just quickly on that, if the roles had been reversed and that was Jared Rorea or Victor Radley or what's that mongrel that plays for the Dogs?
Bengai Jr.?
Yeah. Oh, no, and the
Hetherington.
Hetherington.
Yeah.
Had it been one of those guys with a bit of a record, do you reckon that they would have got weeks?
Oh, well, I don't know. It's hard to say because at the start of the year they wiped all that. If you remember, they wiped all that, and that goes back to Kafusi, last year with the Madison thing as well. So that had been wiped. So it wasn't even there they couldn't bring that into it. So I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't care who it was. If that's what they're going to do, they've got to do it as a game suspension as opposed to a fine. He's on $700,000 a year, $1,800 nothing.
Nothing like dropping a $5 note.
Anyway, like I said, that's not what our show's about. We're not going to get bogged down too much. My Multi again, mate. I'm going Storm head-to-head. I think they will be too strong down there. Justice Olam to get across the line, our boy Justice. And Cobbo, I've got him getting across the line too in his return. He may only be the only one to get across the line for the Broncos. I can't see too many points coming their way. But that one's paying $6.47, 3 legs, Storm head-to-head, Justice Olam and Selwyn Cobbo. Anytime try scorers for $6.47.
I reckon that's going to be a really good game. I think Melbourne got the bit of the edge there, but I think Brisbane are still going to give it to them. I'll tell you what, that Tamari Martin, his match fitness is 110%. He's just,
he never seems to look tired. Hasn't played for 3 or 4 years with and his career was over. So, and I don't think he's lost a game playing fullback at the Broncos. Since he's come back, that they've just won every game, or he's been out injured or whatever.
Yep.
Mate, I'm gonna put you on the spot and get you to give us a multi because Mr. Burtman hasn't sent his in for this next game, but we've got the Sharks up against the Titans. Now, this one's Saturday, 3 p.m. down there at Coffs International Stadium, Coffs Harbour. Those of you that are locals, listen to us, head on down the coast and get around that. That's good. You don't usually get the NRL games that close to our house here. Head-to-head, Sharks are the clear favourites, $1.19. Titans, $4.75. Outsiders. The line is set at 13.5. Both at $1.90 here. Sharks at the minus or the Titans at the plus. Titans are sitting bottom of the table as we record. Dogs, with that win last week, sort of jumped above them. Been a real disappointment this year, to say the least. Sharks started the year out really well. Probably dipped a little bit in the last month or 6 weeks or so. But hopefully they're on the up and up. Look at this, mate. Finucane, he's listed in the reserves. I can't see him playing, though. They should just rest him for a couple more weeks and save him for that back end of the season. Brimson for the Titans returns to fullback after being out with the spicy cough last week. And Asako shifts back to the wing. And Tino starts with Mo Fodawaker being benched there as well. So, like I said, down at Coffs Harbour, they've got good facilities down there at that international stadium.
Yeah, it's
around it. I'm ashamed. I'm actually a bit sad I didn't realise it was there until today when I was going through the thing. I might have headed down.
Yeah, shame I got some pre-commitments because it's only, 2.5 hour drive. If there's roadworks, about 16, but it's a different story. All right, he's put me on the spot here. I'm working out a little bit of magic. All right, I'm going to go Sharks 13 plus.
Yep.
And then 3 try scorers, all Sharkies. Will Kennedy,
Yep.
Sione Katoa,
Yep.
and I'm going to go Nico Hines. I can see him busting through a weakened Titans defence here.
What's the paying?
One under the punts. What do we got? I'll give you those odds in a sec. I was just looking at the team list.
Oh, okay, right. Sorry, I thought you were building it on our TopSport app.
I'm going to jump straight on there now.
Build that in the multi there. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't see Titans pressing too much here. Sharks are pretty much full strength looking at their squad there. Now, Talakai last week, there was a rumour he wasn't actually going to play. There was a arrest warrant out for him. He had unpaid parking fine or a speeding ticket or something like that. So,
Scofflaw.
I think they took care of that old paper bag. But they're pretty much full strength looking at the Sharkies. So the Gold Coast Titans are going to be up against it here. We mentioned a few weeks ago that Campbell, he's out for 6 to 8 weeks, so he probably won't come back. They'll probably only have 3 or 4 games by the time he comes back, and the season's pretty much gone already. So, yeah, I just can't see much happening here for the Titans, unfortunately. Tino's working his backside off each and every week and getting nothing for it. Bo for more, he's been playing okay, but yeah, I don't know where it's going wrong from. I just don't know. And in the 5'8", Paul Turner, I don't even know who Paul Turner is. Toby Sexton, he seems a bit out of his depth at the moment as well.
Yeah. All right, 4-legger. What has got him in? Oh, $11.98.
Nice. Great odds there. So 4 legs, Sharks 13 plus, Will Kennedy, Sione Katoa and Nico Hines all to get across any time, $11.98. Fantastic. All right. I won't put you on the spot for this, mate. I'll take the reins for this one. But next game, we've got the Warriors up against the Panthers, Saturday, 5:30, Moreton Daily Stadium up there in Redcliffe. If you like the Warriors, get about them. $11. Panthers are unbackable at $1.04. The line is set at a massive 26.5. Warriors at the plus for $1.90, or you can get the Panthers at the minus, also $1.90. Mate, you have a little chat about this while I get the TopSport app out and build a multi.
Yeah. So we got probably one of the weaker sides up against someone that probably can't be beaten at this stage. I was a bit unlucky last week with my Panthers multi. The whole spine scored apart from Dylan Edwards. I was hanging on for that. What did you say that margin was? 20-something?
26
20 for the line.
26.5 the line.
Now, that's huge, and I think that's just going to reflect on not if Panthers can score that amount of points, it's who's going to get them. Yeah. I think they're going to be hands over the white line everywhere in this game. Noah Blake's out, so is Elisa Katoa, Freddie Lussick as well for the Warriors. Isaiah Yeo, he's back in there. Sort of didn't really miss him last week, did they?
Eisenhuth actually played really well.
He did. He played some good footy.
But I think that's just the Panthers. They just play so well each and every week.
I tell you, I'm looking forward to having a run this week as well for him. Is that Jermaine Semin?
Yeah, he goes all right.
Yeah.
Old fish guts, they call him.
Old Semin. I'm just checking here to see if my man... Yes, he is. Moses Leota's starting at prop again. So, we'll see what happens here. I definitely can't see the Warriors winning. Definitely be taking the Panthers. It's one of those games, though. Do you think Panthers might get a bit laxed at the second half? Warriors sneak in a few at the end and they sort of win by 18?
Yeah.
Or are they going to hold them out and win by about 38 points? 40 plus?
See, the Penrith are the side that just go on with it. You saw that last week. And who'd they play last week? Newcastle, maybe?
The Panthers?
Yeah. Just smashed them out of the park. They did get a couple of late tries there, I think. But I've got a multi here. I've just done it up on the TopSport app. I'm just going to stick with the usual suspects. I'm going over 44.5 total match points. Taylor May, Isaac Tago and Viliami kick out or to get across the line anytime try scorers down that left edge. $9.59. I actually quite like that price.
Yeah, that's good.
Only 4 legs. I think they scored nearly 40 points last week themselves, 42 maybe, against the Warriors, who are going even more busted than Newcastle. Like you said, the Warriors might sneak in a try or two there to contribute as well. So $9.59.
I'm going to put a sneaky $5 on for myself. Dylan Edwards' first try scorer this week. See if I can reclaim some lost funds.
He got you good last week.
Oh, yes. All right, what do we
I was
got
watching
next?
it. Everyone else is getting across the line. And they're getting doubles and everything. But anyway, not to worry.
What do we got next?
Next up.
Where is he? Oh, he's not here. He's not here.
I was hoping he would be here because then you could actually have a bit of a wager, and I was interested to see what the wager was going to be. What we might do, mate, we might take a quick break. We'll come back and hit the next games after this. Stick
Sounds
around.
good.
Having a bet on sport this week? Top this.
Whether you're into cricket and curling or golf and greyhounds, TopSport will let you on for plenty. And with literally hundreds of markets from your own backyard to the international stage, TopSport has you well covered. So if you want to get the top odds every time, bet with TopSport.
Top that. Download the app today. TopSport. Feel the excitement.
Don't let the game play you. Stay in control. Gamble responsibly.
All right, we're back. Thanks for sticking around. Only got 3 games to go, so we're going to cover those off fairly quickly as well and give you a bit of time back in your day. That's the phrase of the week at the moment. Next up, Ches, we've got Eels up against the Roosters, Saturday, 7:35 p.m, Combank Stadium. Eels are the favourite, but only just $1.80 here. The Roosters, $2. Line is set at only 1.5. Both at $1.90, get the Eels at the minus, or the Roosters at the plus. Both coming off losses last week. Eels probably more disgraceful than the Roosters. The Roosters put up a bit of a fight against Melbourne there. Lost both their halves, obviously Keary, and then Walker went off for an extended period of time after that old elbow to the face. Parramatta, though, no changes, which I thought was interesting considering how poor they played, but maybe they're just putting it down to not showing up and they'll show up this game, hopefully. Keary is named, but I don't think he'll play. Verrills, your man, comes back in at hooker there as well, missing several weeks with that collarbone injury. Hutchison dropping back to the bench. And Momorowski out of the 17. Billy Smith replacing him in the centres. And the Butcher, Egan Butcher that is, replaces Saluka Fafita on the bench. What are your thoughts on this game, mate?
As soon as I heard they would drop Momorowski, I thought Adam Kieran would have got a start again. But anyway, I don't know
Must be rooting the coach's daughter or something.
It could be. This is going to be tough. I think Parramatta's going to come back hard after last week. And it's
they can't get any
it's
worse.
it could be up for a bit of a fight here.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. It's going to be a good battle of the back line there and a good battle of the forwards. Obviously, I'm going to go with the Roosters, of course. It's good to see Sam Verrills back in a lot better, a lot more consistent to their style of play than Hutchison. So that might coast them over the line a few more times too. I think we're going to win by much, but I think we're going to win.
I'll be interested to see what the bet is between you boys during the later week before this actually game kicks off. I heard a nudie run might be on the card, so just check out Central Park down there at midnight Saturday.
I'm going to bet Birdo a carton of premium beer because I know I'm getting one at Christmas time off that fellow that bet me about the Bulldogs, so I can just pass that over to him.
Fair enough.
It won't cost me a red cent.
Yeah, you've subbed in a Mouldy here as well for the Burt man.
Oh, I have.
A bit of value, let me tell you.
And I've gone back to my old ways with this one, I tell you. It's
Free
not
reign.
It's not a big 16-legger, though. It's just a nice little 4-legger. But this one here, we're going to go Roosters head-to-head, and they're paying $2 each. That's why I took them just at head-to-head. Joseph Suwali, Tupanua, and big Sean Lane. I can see Sean Lane sneaking out the side and crashing over Billy Smith in this. That's why I put him in. And that's paying $49.28.
Beautiful.
So that's really good odds.
I like it. That's much better than the $4.50 you would have got if Birdo was putting a Mouldy on.
I've got a little bit of news there from the Roosters camp too is Daniel Saluka Fafita. He will be going to the Rabbitohs.
Sign with the Rabbitohs.
So
be interesting to see if he rooms with Jai Arrow. If you remember him punching him in the back of the head. Fantastic.
So we'll see how he goes over there. He might get a bit more ball time there, I think.
Yeah, true.
The way that their squad's going at the moment.
Let's move into Sunday games. We'll wrap this potty up for this episode. Raiders up against the Knights. Sunday, 3 p.m, GIO Stadium down there in Canberra. Head-to-head, the Raiders are the favourites here at $1.27. Knights, $3.80. The line is set at 10.5. Both at $1.90 here. The Raiders at the minus, Knights at the plus. Knights were pretty awful last week. Raiders, as you said, been playing really well. Joe Tarpany in career best form.
Would it be fair to say he'd be the informed prop at the moment?
Yeah, probably. Not too far out there. Payne Haas, obviously, he's been playing really well all year. Just trying to think who else. Junior Parlo, obviously. It's hard. He's been playing consistent, and the hard thing with Tarpany is because he's not eligible for State of Origin, you sort of don't put him up in that, in that same category, I suppose, for me anyway, because you think of State of Origin, you think it's the best players in the game, but unfortunately, with the rules, it's not always the way it is because you got these Kiwis or these Tongans or Samoans or whoever, the Englishmen that are playing that don't play that State of Origin, so they kind of get left out of that conversation, if you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean. I reckon he's just got a bit more flash and a bit more superstar moments to him than some of the other big forwards. But in saying that, those other guys, they're just consistent.
Yeah,
aren't they?
and I like Joe. He's been playing really well for a couple of years. Just keep his misses out of the paper anyway. Ponga, he's named as well, despite that massive concussion he got last week. Geez, his head hit the ground hard. And Kurt Mann starts at lock there as well.
Tell you, did have a good game. Was that Corey Horsburgh as well?
Big Red.
He had an absolutely fantastic game.
Got across the line too, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
He had a little bit of a mishap there towards the end of the game. And that sort of didn't take anything away. I think he just looked a bit let down by it. I think a little bit angry and frustrated himself.
What did he do? Drop the ball?
But I think he did.
Yeah,
I think he had a bit of a
I
spill.
think.
So he did. Had a bit of a butterfinger moment. So, but the way that he's been coming in and playing as well, that's what's making the Raiders at the moment.
Yeah, they've been playing well. You're Mouldy again, mate. You filled up all the legs looking at this.
Oh, I did. So I've got to go back into my bets for this one.
I've got it here if you want. So you've got over 41.5 total points.
Oh, that's right. I remember this one now.
Sebastian Chris, you get across any time.
And Jack Whiten, he's been playing some great footy. Raiders 13 plus. I think they're going to absolutely smoke him in this one. And the Raiders, the first team to score. That's paying $15.66.
All green there. I've got a feeling, I've got a sneaky suspicion this could be an ambush. I can see a Knights upset here. I'm not going to pick them. And I won't tip them, but just you heard it here first. I can see the Knights actually producing something here and causing a bit of an upset, which doesn't bode well for your multi. So I hope that I'm wrong. Last game, and again, the Bulldogs get the last game of the round. I've said it all year. Bulldogs up against the Tigers. Sunday, 4:05 p.m, Combank Stadium. Bulldogs, this would be the first time all year they're started as favourites. It would have to be. $1.74 favourites, $2.10 if you like the Tigers. The line is set at 2 flat. $1.90 each. You can get the doggies at the minus or the Tigers at the plus. This will be one of those games where it could be an absolutely scintillating game, or it could be bury your head in the sand kind of game. Honestly, I don't know if I will end up watching it, but it'll be one of those games if you don't watch, everyone will be going, oh, did you see that? Did you see that? And if it's one of those games you do watch, you'll be trying to pick your eyeballs out with a toothpick, I can tell you. So, anyway.
I don't want to digress too much, but I think the way that the Bulldogs have been playing in their first half games, then the win from last week into this new sceptical thing with the West Tigers players looking at moving to different clubs. Something else is happening there now as well. Don't know if one of their or multiple of their captains are going to be leaving. So something's going wrong down there. So I'm going to lean towards the Bulldogs in this game. I don't mind watching the Bulldogs play only for the Matt Burton bombs. So that's what sort of keeps me in. But I've had a little.
Just before you get to your moulding, mate, Adam Dewey returns to the bench from that ACL. I said a couple of weeks ago they're going to hold him back, and they did. He's back this week, so hopefully he'll make a bit of an impact for the Tigers. They need something. Dane Laurie's been one of their best, always is. And Josh Yeddo-Carr, honestly, he's making his case for a Origin selection, isn't he? He scored 5 tries in the last 2 weeks.
Sort of back to playing how he was.
Might been the kick in the guts he needed, I think.
I think so.
But his combination with Berta, Matt Burton, those little kicks they're putting in.
I mentioned that
the
one
wing
last week.
Yeah,
how they put that early kick across that little cross-field.
Yeah.
Don't know what style of kick.
Yeah, just a little drop
It wasn't
punt.
a chip, but yeah.
Yeah.
That was just great to watch. And I think there'll be a lot more of that to come this year.
Yeah.
So I've gone Bulldogs just head-to-head. The Fox, Mr. Ken Mamalo, you cost me last week, but I'm going with you again, mate. And Jacob Carraz from the Dogs. I got him just for any timer as well. That's paying $15.51. That Carraz, I remember I watched him, would have been a handful of weeks ago now, maybe a couple of months ago. He's one of those sort of real strong, wiry fellas. He's very hard to put down. Sort of goes in there and really, really gives it a good show. So
yeah, as a bit of a dig.
Yeah.
Good to see. Well, that's all the games wrapped up. And our multis, if you do like any, hopefully you will get a victory up on those, and we will as well. But we've got one last thing to do, mate, and that's the Guru's multi. For those of you that are new to the show, the Guru is a gambling gazelle, would you call him?
I do call him the gambling gazelle.
A betting savant that we personally know. His identity will remain secret. But he's given us a bit of a multi here as well. Now, he's kept it a bit simple. He was a bit wild last week, and I actually messaged him late on Saturday afternoon and said, can we just get a head-to-head, please? It takes me about 10 minutes to fucking put these things on. But anyway, he's kept it pretty simple this week. As we know, most of us up here are pretty simple as well, but he's gone Cowboys head-to-head. Over 40.5 total points in the Dogs versus Tigers match. And also Stephen Crichton and Taylor May to get a try anytime for the Panthers. Now, that one's paying $9.62. So, technically, it's 4 legs. Cowboys head-to-head. Over 40.5 total points in the Dogs Tigers. Stephen Crichton and Taylor May for the Panthers to get across anytime. $9.62. I actually quite like that bet. Kept it simple. Mm-hmm. Simple bet for simple show.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. Only need to get the victory. So
stuff's coming back on me already.
Well, that just about wraps up our show. As I said, it was fairly nice, quick one today. Hopefully the Bertman will be back next week. I know a lot of you people out there do miss his dribble, as do we. He's pretty good value. But any last words, mate, before we sign off?
Don't forget your tips. Don't forget your knockout tips. And I've actually got the package for one of the guys that won the thing sitting at the work office. He said he's going to come around and pick it up. So you know who you are. So come and grab that.
We've got to do that as well. We forgot to do that again this week. We'll do it next week. We'll let Birdo draw out the number next week. Totally forgot. Anyway, if you do have a punt over the weekend, make sure you do so responsibly. Enjoy the football and don't eat your soup with your fork. And we'll catch you next week.